name is Erin Smith, and I have a special guest with us, the Vice Chairman of the Bladen County Commissioners, Mr. Ray Britt. Welcome, Ray Britt.
Fine. Hope you're doing well.
I am. Thank you for asking.
Sure.
Ray, we were wanting to expand a little bit. I understand the county commissioners have been doing some planning and trying to get some direction from the board, some projects and things they would like to see for the upcoming year. And Monday night we had a SWOT planning session. And I was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about that and expand on it just a little bit.
I actually think it went pretty well. I think we got a lot of understanding of what the positions are and the duties are. And as far as me as a new commissioner, I'm one that I happen to be a little different situation than others. I'm downtown with two front doors, and my doors swing all day long. People come in and out and asking questions. And as their elected official, I sort of look at it this way. The congregation voted for me, and I'm their deacon. And in this case, when you go before one of your department heads, in this case, Chuck Eustace, he then would be the preacher. So the congregation comes to the deacon with answers or questions, and as a new commissioner, if I don't know the answers, then I go to the department heads and I get the answers that may not be the answer they want, but I do the best I can to answer them the best that I can. And adding to that, as a new commissioner, the first thing I would do personally is ask some of the other commissioners. And a little confusion on actually what one's responsibility is and how they go forward and how we all fit into the picture. And just to find out and have a little more knowledge on the way the department is run and expectations not only from us to him but from him to us. And just so many of the commissioners, and I mentioned that last night, some of them were not aware of how some of it went and wasn't comfortable with some things. So last night was a good time to hash it out and to gain a little bit more knowledge for everyone and to make sure that we're all doing the right thing for our voters and the citizens of the county. But I'll be happy to answer anything that you may ask. It might need clarification of misunderstanding that someone may not have, but I do it the best that I can for you.
Okay. I understand the General Assembly, as you know, has implemented some new service taxes that will start coming into play on certain services that had not been taxed in the past. And some of that will be coming back to the county. Tell me a little bit about that revenue stream and maybe some thoughts about how you might like to see that revenue stream used.
Well, as you know, we're a rural county and we have a lot of needs and a lot of places where we would like to have additional funds to do things better for everybody within the county. But the best thing that I would say that you'll see happening is that the commissioners, as well as the county manager and his staff, believe me, they'll see where the funds need to go, the money and the funds need to go, so it could be adequately spent and put in the proper places. As a business owner, yes, I'm aware of it more from that standpoint right now than I am from the commissioner standpoint, because just about anything that has to do with labor now, in our case, from jewelry repair, shoe repair, whatever the case may be, it's labor, 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 and tax, tax, tax. And so I think that's been, is and still is an adjustment for a lot of people that's in the service industry out there.
Now, in those service industries, those taxes can be used for education, economic development, and is it public safety? And of those, which one do you feel like is probably the biggest priority right now for our county?
Well, I'd say the biggest thing for priority, and let me emphasize this and put emphasis on, there again, I'm speaking from what the people ask of me. Our biggest concern and comments that I have from people that's inquiring with me is jobs, jobs, jobs in the industry. And that's my concentrated effort on seeing what we can do and see what's available, approach it aggressively, work with every other identity that's working with the county and the commissioners, such as in the case last night's Bladen's Blooming, and any other agency that's willing to work with the commissioners for the betterment of Bladen County and the voting citizens. But at the same page, we have to see if we're all on the same page, and we have to be accountable, or I do. I have to be accountable to the people that put me in the position, and I think that's probably more or less what you saw last night, and I've had all kind of calls on that this morning and tried to clarify them the best that I can. I think we're all trying to reach the same objective, is the betterment of Bladen County, but we just need to know where people's positions are, and to make sure that things are getting done, because I'm held accountable, and department heads will be and are held accountable, and people are seeking and wanting change, and so we all have to work together, and if we have any issues, it's time now to hash it out, and let's work it out, and I'm looking for 9 people on the board to get along, to accomplish everything we can for the betterment of this county, regardless of race or any other thing that may come into play. I'll never vote on anything down racial lines. If it's good for my family, it should be good for your family, and vice versa. And that's just a position that I take, and I think we had a very good, productive meeting last night, personally. And if you have anything specific you want to ask me about that from last night, I'll be glad to address it. Well, I have no problem.
Well, out of that meeting, what do you think are going to be the top 3 priorities going forward, based on your feelings coming out of that meeting last night?
Good communication, and with good dialogue and understanding from our industrial commissioner. I think he understands exactly where the commissioners are coming from after last night's meeting, and because I'm sure, not just me, I'm sure the other commissioners are getting conversations about jobs, but and there's different people have different opinions on what size companies. I'm one, let's look for a company with 100 employees, or 50, or 200, or 300. I look back when we had Cape Craftsman, West Point Pepperell, Interior Woods. All these were machine-operated manufacturing facilities. And, granted, a lot of these people that held these jobs have left our area to seek employment in other areas. I'm one of these firm believers, if you build, I think some of these people would love to come back home. And we have people that's here now would like a better opportunity. As a commissioner, I will tell you this, and you need to look at it from my standpoint too. You'll be surprised at the people that are in business that employ a great number of people. And I share this with concern so you can understand what a commissioner has to deal with. Would you not find it a little alarming that some people that own companies don't want other industries? I have quickly to find that out. Do you understand why?
Why?
That is competition for their employees. And they don't want necessarily to lose their employees to a new company. But you got to understand my position. I'm for those 4,400 people that voted for me, seeking a better opportunity. If I can only pay you $10 an hour and you can pay $13, then you've been a good employee for me. I should support you having a better opportunity as a business owner. Then you would look at that owner that they work for. He's doing pretty well, maybe, hopefully, and I hope he is. But even though that person's in the $10 range, they're looking for a better opportunity too. So I think it needs to be known out there. This is some of the things the commissioners run into. Some people try to stop growth, and I'm not here to hide that. I'm here telling you I have to face that and deal with that when I go in front of some of these people that may own some of these companies. And but that's just the way it is, and I'm one that's going to tell you straight up how it is. I don't sugarcoat anything. I may be strong and to the point, but there again, my point and strongness is because I work for you, and I don't forget that. And I think if we all do that, we'll be much better off and take your personal out of it and do what's best for this county as a whole and not a group. And several calls this morning was in reference to about Chuck's uses in our meeting last night. Personally, I know Chuck from speaking with us at the Optimist Club, and I have no hard feelings, nothing against him. As far as I'm concerned, he and Bladen Blooming has did a good job. I don't know of anything any different to tell you that. I do know from people telling me that they would like to see more things happening, and I would share that with him as well as you, and because that's the push that the people have. And but also to let you know, he is a full-time paid employee for Bladen County and is a department head. He is not employed by Bladen's Blooming.
Right.
And and that was confirmed with me today from the legal aspects of things. But he works with them, and they work with him for the betterment of Bladen County and the industry. And they have done a lot of good things. But my understanding from talking to some of the commissioners this morning and some of the things, there was actually a better understandingable relationship when you had commissioners on the Bladen Blooming's board. They seem to be more informed, the commissioners, than they are now. And so that may be one thing that everybody needs to go back in and look at, because we're seeking the same end of the road,
Right.
but we need to be riding together. It's sort of embarrassing if somebody come to me this morning, and I'm a commissioner, and said, Ray, Campbell Soup, my understanding, wanted to come to Bladen County. Why did John 97? What was the problem there? And sort of embarrassing, you know, I had no clue. I didn't know anything about it. I don't need to be put in that position. And but the way I look at that, we need to be informing each other. And I think now that some things have been brought out in the open, I think they should and be willing to understand our concerns when it comes to you asking me a question and I can't answer it, and they feel like that the commissioners are putting the responsibility to be able to answer to the people. And that's my whole take on the whole thing. I want what's best for everybody, and I'm one that I want the knowledge and I want to know so I can let the people know that put me in the position that I'm in. And I think that's very fair, and if it's not, I'm in the wrong place. I got plenty to do right here without battling something if something is not out there where I'm supposed to be able to see, and to help keep the people informed.
Right.
And I'm not saying that they have to even let us know, but I say this: if Bladen's Blooming has been approached, or they're approaching someone from coming here, and they decide they don't want to do it, and we've not heard anything about it, the commissioners, and then Chuck knows of it because he's involved with them, and then we don't know anything about it, as a full-time paid employee by the county, then I think he should bring that before the county commissioners, and then let us take a look at it, because we may want it and make it happen with the taxpayers' dollars. But we have to look at things. If Bladen's Blooming or anyone wants us to spend your tax dollar, then we have to look and account to you in the manner in which we spent that money. What's the return on that money? And if we spend $450,000 or $250,000, whatever the case may be, and we're supplementing a company that brings only 2, 4, 6 people in here, where's the return on that? And the tax base and the return from the employee standpoint, that will never happen. You can't do enough business to make that happen. And that was reiterated to me last night by the county manager, because I asked that question. I said, where's the feasibility there? If you get me to take X amount of dollars of the county's money to put over here, and this is the only employment we get out of it. Now, you explain to me how that works and where there's a benefit from that. And so, you know, there's several different ways without going into a lot of detail. And I know that right there might have been enough to confuse you, but believe me, some of that stuff's out there on the table. And, you know, and that's some of the things we don't understand. For instance, if you go build a building today for $450,000, and then you turn around and sell it for what someone is saying it only will appraise for $200 based on comps, and then we negotiate and give that out to some new little company coming in here, and the taxpayers just gave up $250,000. First of all, my first problem would be, why will only appraise for $200 if you spent $450 to build it? It's sort of like David Good told me this morning. He built a right nice building, and he said that you know, it's a little bigger than some of the buildings that we have out there. He said, and when they come out there to assess his taxes on the building, he said it assessed and was taxed higher than what he paid for it. So, you know, there's a lot of things there we have to look at. A lot of us are in business, may not be smart as the others, but we're smart enough to run a pencil to see how things work. And when it comes to spending your dollar, I'm gonna spend your dollar like it's my dollar. I'm very, very tight on a few things. But at the same time, I'm one of those that I like to let people know what's going on and don't hide behind anything.
Well, Ray, we thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Quite welcome.
And thank you for your insights on the meeting and economic development issues. And we hope going forward that the board will have many great working relationships.
Looking forward to it, and so far I've been very pleased. I'm really happy to tell you that the board has worked together thus far, and I look forward to that as a continuation. And little things that you may saw last night, that's how you get into it and you pull it out, and let's work it out, and understand that if I don't understand this, how you can help me better understand it. It's nothing to slam anybody. It's for better understanding, so we can help clarify points to the people that put us all in that position.
Well, Ray, thank you for joining us, and thank you.